Right now, some of the biggest names in music are sweating hard. They've been dragged into one of the biggest controversies on the planet because of their ties to one of the most powerful talent agencies in the game, Wasserman. This firm represents major stars like Kendrick Lamar, Drake, SZA, and Tyler, the Creator. And now all eyes are on them. The chaos traces back to the agency's founder, Casey Wasserman, after resurfaced emails exposed alleged private conversations with a now infamous handler connected to a disgraced financier. In just the last 48 hours, a few high-profile figures have quietly stepped away, while the biggest artists linked to the agency are staying silent. Now the industry is scrambling, and people are asking the real question. Does this finally expose deeper connections between the music business, powerful elites, and shady circles at the top? Wasserman has long been one of the gatekeepers of success, holding serious influence over careers. But overnight, that power turned toxic. The backlash centers on alleged emails from 2003, where media reports claim Casey Wasserman appeared flirtatious and overly familiar with the handler. The messages allegedly discussed meeting in New York discreetly, references to clothing, privacy, and even a massage request. On top of that, reports say he previously traveled on a private jet tied to the disgraced financier. Now here's the wild part. This same man was later named chairman of the LA 2028 Olympics Organizing Committee. From Hollywood power broker to global spotlight, the pressure is exploding and the silence from the industry is louder than ever. Casey Wasserman is now feeling pressure from every direction. The public is questioning him. Talent on the roster is uneasy. Even people inside his own company are reportedly calling for him to step down. He tried to control the narrative, saying the association was from 20 years ago and that he didn't know about any alleged crimes at the time. But a lot of people aren't buying that explanation. We've already seen a wave of celebrities publicly distancing themselves. Stars like Chappelle Roan made clear statements announcing their departure, telling fans they don't want to be connected to anyone surrounded by that kind of controversy. But here's the real question. Are artists leaving out of principle or because they see the company's reputation cracking in real time? While a few have spoken up, many of the biggest names remain completely silent. People are watching artists like Kendrick Lamar, Ed Sheeran, and others who haven't said a word since the emails resurfaced. The silence feels loud, especially when some of these same artists are known for speaking boldly on social issues. Take Kendrick, for example. He's built a reputation on calling out questionable behavior in the industry. But now, with the head of the agency connected to his business deals facing scrutiny over old ties to a disgraced financier's associate, there's no public comment. That contrast has fans confused. And this isn't the first time. When other high-profile names were mentioned in past document releases connected to this broader scandal, some artists stayed quiet then too. No statements, no public distancing, just silence. That's why some critics feel like there's a pattern of avoiding controversy instead of confronting it head-on. Then things got even more interesting. Reports surfaced claiming Wasserman's agency quietly removed the public roster of artists from its website. That move raised eyebrows fast. To many observers, it looked like damage control, an attempt to limit association headlines before they spiral further. Meanwhile, some A-list names are still signed and haven't addressed anything. And with past documents mentioning powerful industry figures in connection to the disgraced financier's wider social circle, people are starting to connect dots, fairly or unfairly. It's important to say clearly, none of these allegations have been proven in court against these artists, but perception in the public eye moves fast. When the head of a major talent agency confirms past social contact with controversial figures, it naturally fuels speculation about who else may have crossed paths in elite spaces. That doesn't equal guilt, but it does raise questions that fans want answered. Despite the backlash, Olympic leadership has not removed Casey from his role connected to the 2028 Los Angeles Games. That decision alone sparked another wave of criticism. Some believe it shows institutional loyalty. Others argue there's simply not enough proven wrongdoing to justify removal. Either way, the optics are intense. To understand why he may still have strong backing, many point to his family legacy. Casey didn't rise from nowhere. He comes from a powerful Hollywood lineage. His grandfather, Lew Wasserman, was one of the most influential executives in entertainment history. leading MCA and shaping the modern studio system. That legacy built deep industry connections that still echo today. Critics argue that legacy power can create protective circles. Supporters say it simply reflects decades of business relationships. But when people see old photos, private jet reports from the early 2000s, and resurfaced emails all hitting at once, the narrative grows bigger than one man. Right now, the industry is in crisis control mode. Executives are calculating, artists are weighing public statements carefully, and the public is demanding clarity. What started as resurfaced emails has turned into a larger conversation about power, accountability, and how deeply elite networks run through entertainment. And as more names surface in headlines, the spotlight is only getting hotter. Just days ago, 2 lawmakers pushed the Department of Justice to unredact 6 names that had reportedly been hidden from public documents. One of the most talked about names on that list? Leslie Wexner. And this isn't just another billionaire floating around elite circles. Wexner built massive retail empires like Victoria's Secret, Bath & Body Works, and Abercrombie & Fitch. For years, critics have questioned how deeply he was connected to the disgraced financier at the center of this global scandal. For a long time, Wexner denied knowing about any alleged criminal behavior. He positioned himself as someone misled and betrayed, but speculation never really faded. Many believed he played a larger financial role behind the scenes. Despite public suspicion, there was little visible sign that authorities were seriously investigating him. That silence only fueled more questions. Now, with newly unredacted information, reports suggest that at one point he was referenced in official records in a way that has people debating whether he was viewed more seriously by investigators than previously known. Critics argue that if names were being concealed, it raises concerns about transparency. Supporters say redactions happen for many legal reasons, but either way, it has reignited public outrage. And this is where Hollywood connections come into focus. In the 1990s, Wexner's longtime associate reportedly posed as a Victoria's Secret scout when interacting with young models. Executives allegedly warned Wexner about concerns more than once. According to past reports, no decisive action was taken at the time. That detail alone has haunted his legacy. Victoria's Secret wasn't just a clothing brand, it became a global spectacle. The fashion shows were cultural events, blending supermodels, A-list musicians, and major sponsors. Those events were magnets for celebrities, executives, and billionaires all mixing in the same rooms. When powerful industries overlap like that, networks expand fast. Some critics argue those glamorous events may have created pathways for powerful people to build private relationships behind closed doors. That doesn't automatically mean wrongdoing by every attendee, but it does show how tight elite circles can become. Influence travels through sponsorships, partnerships, and private invites. Now connect that to Casey Wasserman. If Wexner represented massive financial power and high-profile events, and Wasserman controlled access to major artists and entertainment infrastructure, people start asking, how interconnected were these worlds really? That's the conversation heating up right now. Online voices are suggesting that financial influence plus celebrity access equals serious leverage. Again, these are allegations and suspicions, not proven crimes against the artists themselves. But when the same elite names keep surfacing in documents and historical reports, the public starts looking closer. Meanwhile, celebrities who were once proudly affiliated with certain agencies are now distancing themselves publicly. Some are issuing statements, others are staying silent. Critics say the silence speaks volumes. Supporters say contracts and legal realities make it complicated. And that brings up the real power structure. Wasserman isn't just another booking agency. By 2026, it reportedly controls a significant portion of major festival talent, including huge events like Coachella. That means for top-tier artists, tours, festival slots, sponsorships, and global brand deals often run through one central machine. For a rising artist, walking away might hurt, but it's survivable. For stadium-level stars, it's a different game. Long-term touring contracts, performance guarantees, brand integrations, those deals are layered and locked in years in advance. Leaving suddenly could trigger lawsuits, canceled shows, and massive financial fallout. That's why some argue it's not as simple as just walk away. When artists reach superstar status, they're deeply embedded in corporate systems. Infrastructure, logistics, international promotion, it's all connected. Breaking away could mean risking everything they built. At the same time, critics push back and say moral accountability should outweigh contracts. They argue that influence comes with responsibility. If leaders in culture stay silent during controversy, fans notice. While the LA 2028 Olympic Board continues to stand by Casey Wasserman, reports say the agency has quietly adjusted its public website, removing or limiting visible client lists. Some see that as routine legal caution. Others see it as damage control. Either way, it shows how serious the moment feels behind the scenes. So, when fans ask why major artists haven't spoken up, the answer might be more complicated than it looks. It could be fear of legal consequences, it could be strategic silence, or it could simply be waiting for verified facts before making public statements. But the tension is undeniable. You've got lawmakers unsealing names, billionaires under renewed scrutiny, agencies adjusting public optics, celebrities weighing loyalty, contracts, and public pressure all at once. The bigger issue isn't just one man or one agency. It's about how power moves through entertainment, finance, and politics. It's about transparency. It's about who gets protected and why. Now the conversation has shifted. It's not just are there connections, it's how deep do elite networks really run? And more importantly, will the public keep demanding answers? The spotlight is on, the pressure is rising, and the silence from certain corners is only making people ask louder questions.